Alright everybody, we're back with another episode of Pokemon Masters Council. Once again, I don't know what episode we're on. Justin, what's up?
Not a whole lot, just happy to be in the man cave again.
Yep, we're
Doing
back.
some recording today. Got some coffee. And yeah, we did a bunch of tournament reviews and stuff like that. That's kind of what today's podcast is going to be about. We're going to be talking about the Aeos Cup and then also the Indianapolis regionals.
Yep.
So really happy to jump into that tournament content. But before we do, we want to remind everybody that you can check this podcast out. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can check us out on Spotify. Go check us out over there. We will be on other podcast providers soon, but for right now, we are also on Spotify. And obviously, if you are listening to us on Spotify, check out our YouTube channel under the same name, PMC, and go give us a subscribe there. We do a bunch of content with not only the podcast recording here, we also do battle videos. So it's kind of best of both worlds.
Yeah, it is. So. Justin, before we dive into all that, man, what's good in your life, man?
Man, it's been Mother's Day. I work in a restaurant, so Mother's Day was really busy. Didn't get as much games in as I would have liked so far on the old Unite train, trying to build up to get that Blastoise skin. It looks so good.
Oh yeah, I honestly forgot about that.
Yeah,
I've been so busy.
It's
dude.
been real busy this past weekend. Obviously, you've got kids, so Mother's Day is always busy.
Yeah, Mother's Day and my kid's birthday.
Oh yeah,
was last Thursday, so we did birthday party and then we got Mother's Day, and then it's also really hot.
Yep,
it's really
yard
hot
work.
right now. Yeah,
do some yard work.
I spent my entire Monday doing yard work. It's Wednesday at the time of this recording.
Yeah,
it is so hot. I'm glad I did it on Monday when it was windy.
Yep.
And now it's
super hot and muggy.
Dude, it's like it's almost like 100 degrees right now.
Oh yeah.
I think legitimately almost 100 degrees
right
now here in Michigan. So
it's a heat wave. It's coming.
Yep. A lot of Groudon Sun teams.
So yeah, we've been playing some Unite. Sport Ninja has been playing a lot. He's almost done with the battle pass. He's been grinding that ladder every night after the baby goes down to bed. So that's really exciting. He's actually pretty much, I think, caught up with most of the tournament coverage. He's for sure watched the grand finals of the Aeos Cup.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a lot of fun content that we were talking about over the weekend in terms of like our private chat amongst the council, and I probably enjoyed the. In terms of playing, what have we been doing? What have we been up to? We've definitely been playing a lot of cards. We did some more trading. We put out the Lucario video.
Yeah, that got some pretty good traction. If you haven't seen that already, go check that one out. We did Lucario V-Star yesterday. We put out Leafeon V-Star. That was super fun.
So much fun. I'd really encourage people to go check that out. It's our first iteration of Brilliant Stars Leafeon V-Star. It's really fun to get her to pop off, especially with that Rillaboom engine. I'm a big fan of Rillaboom, obviously. He's in my top 10 favorites of all time, so I'm a huge fan of that engine with the voltage beat. I'm going to be sad when that rotates out. But yeah, we've got Astral Radiance coming soon.
That deck is going to be unplayable.
Like,
it's a good thing I play Expanded because I'm not even going to try to save the Leafeon V-Star deck. I like it how it is. I'm not going to try to change.
We'll make
anything.
a new one in the future.
Yeah, but like for now, I'm not going to try to make it standard legal when it rotates out. I'm just going to play it in Expanded because it's going to be so much work.
So while we're talking about cards, I guess we'll get into a little bit of the hobby part of it while we're talking about what we've been up to. So, you made that Leafeon deck, I made the Lucario deck, and then we sort of kind of came together and we edited them with each other's feedback after we tried it out.
Yeah.
That's sort of how we build decks around here. It's like somebody has an idea, they try it out, then they bring it to the table, and the council kind of gives them then we all refine it together and make it really pop.
Yeah.
Or see if we can try to make it pop.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, we love throwing spaghetti and seeing what makes it stick. We need to get out on a t-shirt, throwing spaghetti. Just
sometimes it's really hard to make a fighting deck that's not Rapid Strike.
Sometimes,
or Single Strike. That's like literally the only archetype.
But then Lucario came out. I'm like, hey, I got 4 of these. Let's go.
That's true. Yeah, like everything else was like so bad unless we went full Rapid Strike or full Single Strike. Because I'm running a full Single Strike deck.
Hoopa went on sale.
Oh yeah, Hoopa. Yep, I got Hoopa.
So shout outs for people that are listening to this. This will be on Friday, the 13th of May.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
If the sale's still live, we're recording this Wednesday, the 11th. So by the time you're hearing this, if the sale is still live on Poton Store, go check it out. It was like 50 cents per Hoopa. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, I think they're pouncing on the fact that it made an appearance.
Yeah.
At the
and that's actually how I picked
final.
up my Lucario right now, is because the trading market's kind of weak for it, just because you can't get it out of packs. So it's pretty. So I just went out and I spent it was like $11 for a 4/4.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like I'll spend it was 11 something with tax, but basically $10. Like done deal.
Using the mightiest card of all, just the credit card. The credit card.
Yeah. So we'll get into. So you've been building a couple decks. I want to talk about the red one and the purple one.
So I've got a purple one. Which one? The Mewtwo?
Yeah, the V.
Mewtwo. Yep. So I made a Mewtwo V Union deck. I've played a few.
It's still in
games with
testing.
it.
We're not on recording.
It is. Yeah.
Yet.
It's hard.
Yep.
I was running it. What was I running it with? I did not have the Meowth.
No.
I was running it without the Meowth.
We've been trying different.
I put the Meowth back in because there's just too many. It's you'll have the pieces in your hand, but then you're relying on Quick Ball and Ultra Ball if you don't have Meowth in play. And Meowth is really easy to get into play with Quick Ball.
Exactly.
So I did put Meowth in, and then I've got the Arceus.
Level ball them.
But the thing is, you need to get the Mewtwo V Union out as fast as possible.
Yes.
And I just wasn't getting it out fast enough. I did beat the EUIC championship deck with Mewtwo V Union, so that felt really good. But that's like the biggest highlight I've had with it.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
Your red deck.
Got 2 red decks. I made a Ninetales deck. I found out painfully that it gets one hit KO'd by Trinity Nova, and that's a problem.
Capes.
So yeah, so I'm gonna run either Big Charm or the Cape. I don't know exactly which one yet. And then I got a Victini VMAX deck in the work. I'm gonna run that. I need 30 more bolts on the free track to make that, and checking out my Arceus V-Star, my Brilliant Stars
divider.
Yeah, I got the ETB. I will not be buying another ETB until I'm buying Pokemon Go. I'm buying
the
Mewtwo
Mewtwo, but that's because it's like a collector's item for you, because it's literally your favorite. So we're talking about Mewtwo.
I was thinking
we're getting ready for Mewtwo V-Star. Oh boy! So right now it is May 11th when we're recording this.
Yep.
We got less than 2 months.
Yep.
It's
July 1st,
July 1st.
Right? Yep.
So
I went to my local GameStop looking to see if they were doing pre-orders.
Are they?
They said not yet. They said it's going to be in store July 1st, but they're not doing pre-orders yet. So I'm going to go pester them.
You got to be there at 10:01 a.m.
Yeah, which I don't want to do. I don't want to get in a fist fight with a child.
I'll go with you. I'll punch you, kid.
So, before we dive into like the main topic of what we're going to talk about, so we're going to talk about the VGC and TCG side of Indianapolis regionals, and then we're going to be talking about the North American side of the Aeos Cup.
So basically, there's 3.
There's like 3 or 4 different Aeos Cups.
Yeah, but there's 3 different portions to this episode of the podcast. It's basically going to be 3 different tournament, just discussion. Not really. We're just going to talk about it, the PMC style, kind of casually competitive as always, and kind of laid back and sip some coffee and talk about some awesome games that we saw this weekend in 3 different formats of Pokemon, our favorite franchise. So
I gotta ask you.
Couldn't be more excited.
I gotta ask you before we get in, and there's no wrong answer. Which format did you enjoy watching the most?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, it's a good question of the day. Let's put that down below.
Yeah. If you guys watched all 3, what format did you like the best? Do you like?
So obviously the 3 formats being Unite, Cards, and VGC on the Switch. Yep.
I
probably enjoyed Unite the most because it felt like the least one-sided, or the least kind of like because like we'll get into it, but a couple of the other matches felt a little bit maybe like it was just kind of over.
Yeah.
Whereas the Unite went to a full 5 game and it was down to the wire.
Yeah.
Anyone could have won it. Yep. 5th game. Super fun. So probably Unite. And I got a big League background. So
yeah, I'm not surprised you picked that. I actually thought you would pick that.
Really exciting stuff.
For me, I actually enjoyed the VGC side the most.
Oh, wow. Classic pokes, classic pokes.
Yeah, like that's where my roots lie when it comes to anything Pokemon. Like I'm always gonna put. I mean, I love the card game. I love Pokemon Unite. I love
definitely
Pokemon.
You love the whole franchise.
Yeah, but for me, turn-based video game Pokemon, whether that be VGC or Showdown, that's gonna take. That's gonna interest me. That's gonna interest me more at the end of the day than every other format of Pokemon. But,
for sure.
That's just me. So
let us know down in the comments below. What was your favorite format of, the 3 tournaments that was this weekend? Did you pay attention to the tournaments, or is this the first time you're hearing about it? Let us know down below. We'd love to have that discussion in the comments section.
Yeah, this was a crazy weekend for Pokemon.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so we're going to talk about let's talk about Unite first.
Yeah. Alrighty, so this weekend there was a whole bunch of tournaments all over the world for the Aeos Cup. Obviously, for people that don't know, in Unite we play on Aeos Island or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
There's Aeos Cookie, and Aeos is like the whole thing.
Aeos
for Unite.
Energy.
The Aeos Cup, it's pretty awesome. It's put on by the peeps themselves. So basically, we're just going to kind of cover the finals and the NA finals. We are from Michigan. We are from North America, so obviously we're going to cover the North America. There was Oceania and Asia. And there was all sorts. So definitely go check it out if you are interested. Links will be in the description.
Yeah.
But for North America, the finals was a best of 5, and it went to the full game 5, right down to the wire. After
a reset.
Yeah, so explain to people how that works.
I believe Gaming Gladiators
was on the winning circuit.
They were on the winning side, so they won their whole way in, and they won their way to grand finals.
Correct.
And Full Send, I believe, on the other hand, I hope I'm not flip-flopping these.
No, you're not.
I think Full Send came from loser's side.
Full Send did come from loser's side.
So I'm assuming it was double elimination.
Yep.
Full Send came from the loser side. They lost at some point in the tournament, and they worked their way all the way up through the loser side of the tournament to meet at the grand finals. And then Full Send actually ends up winning
the whole thing.
They win the first round, sending Gaming Gladiators to losers.
Yep.
So now it's just whoever wins this final.
Best of 5.
Yeah. So Gaming Gladiators actually wins the set. They basically win first, and then they give.
Game one went to GG. They started off hot. They came out. So basically, this is the team comps that they ran the whole time. I guess we could just dive right in.
Yeah, both squads didn't change their
the whole
team
time.
comp once, which is understandable.
They definitely had a set plan to go in.
Yeah.
So basically, you have a solo carry funnel comp. Built around Toon on the Greninja for Gaming Gladiators, and then you have a duo carry heavy top lane rush comp with the top lane Lucario solo laner, and then using Otter on the Sylveon in the jungle. You really getting that experience quick, evolving at level 4 and really applying pressure top with the Lucario, two of the strongest early game characters in the meta right now, with that hyper voice doing a lot of damage, and then scaling that damage with Sylveon throughout the game and kind of staying ahead of their team and just hyper voicing the whole team. Big damage.
Yeah.
So similar team comps in the way that it's funneled, but one only has a single carry and the other has 2 different type of damage carries. And then the core of the teams being their trio bot lane, which we see a lot of competitive. It's very standard. You go single top, 1 jungle, and then 3 bot. And as you see here, we've got duo support with 1 tank. So you've got the Blastoise, Blissey, and of course, 100%, no question about it, the Hoopa.
And this is something we called.
Yeah.
This is something that we talked about the day that Hoopa released. Well, before Hoopa even released, we had said that Hoopa is going to change the way the game is played. It's going to be it's going to be on all of these highly competitive teams.
Yep.
And here we go.
It was the game changer in almost every game.
It was, yeah, because there were moments when one of the teams was out of position, where one team was choking the other out
Yep.
and keeping them out of the Zapdos pit, And Hoopa would just springboard over, pop the ultimate, and that was their way into the fight.
Yep.
That was their way into the fight. So, like, positioning...
And it's very similar to the play style of, like, a Bard in League of Legends, where it allows you to get your team in or out of a position. Obviously, Hoopa's more in, but getting into a position that normally you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, so Hoopa definitely made his presence felt. It's something we had said from day one that was going to happen.
So many great, not a single trick.
No, yeah, not a single trick Hoopa. They're all hyperspace hole.
And so many good hyperspace holes in terms of like dropping them for heals. We saw so many perfectly timed, perfectly placed. You can tell that they've put in the reps. It was really inspiring.
Interestingly enough, I don't think any of them ran Phantom Force. I think they were Shadow Ball.
They were Shadow Ball.
Yeah, because just that long range poke. That's what I've been running on Hoopa as well.
Super, super interesting. So, what do you think about the team comps? Let's start with second place, the Gladiators. So they came from the winning bracket, so they were doing really well, and then they just faltered in Game 5, basically. And we'll get it. So basically, what happened was Gaming Gladiators. I guess we'll start here.
Yeah.
Gaming Gladiators. They won the first game of the set, and then they lost game 2 and 3 to this really interesting kind of adaptation from Full Send, where they did like this super heavy aggro push top. They did it the first game, but it just didn't work as well. They did it game 2 and 3 to super effect because Lutano was up there
solo
for GG.
Right?
He was just a solo Phantom.
Yeah.
And when you have a Sylveon that we talked about getting boosted out of the jungle clear in the central area, and you already have Lucario, who's great at every point in the game, but he's really strong early because he doesn't have to evolve, they were able to just jump on him and snuff him out quickly.
They bullied him a lot early in the set.
They bullied him so hard, especially game 2 and 3. It was really rough, and they were able to gain lead. It wasn't like a shutout from there, but they were able to gain leads top, and then sort of start that pendulum to go down bot, and then they had the pressure to rotate. And it was really beautiful how you saw them kind of set up that line of scrimmage.
Yep.
It's very reminiscent to the days when I used to watch LCS or play League of Legends. So it's really fun to sort of dive into there and see like this, and watch it with you was really interesting.
Yeah, because we watched most of this together. We watched the Aeos Cup together, and we watched
it's like football night.
Yeah, we watched the VGC finals together. So, yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah.
So and then game 4, they must have had a real good huddle. Because Gaming Gladiators came out of the gates like a missile, and they didn't stop the whole game. It was
crazy.
It was a stomp. Let's put it that way. It was not. It was, and then Game 5 was a nail biter.
It was insane. Lead changes the whole time.
The whole time.
They're calling people off to go score, saying, "Okay, they're getting ahead of us on the score."
They're sneaking in scores. They're taking team fights. It's split push. It was a lot of stuff going around. It was a lot of team coordination, and it was really cool to see them move in this high pressure situation when they're exhausted. They've been playing there all day or all weekend. So really, really cool to get to experience all of this. But in the end, like you said, Full Send did take the victory. So I guess I'm going to throw it over to you, and we're going to talk about the team comps. We're going to start with second place, the Gaming Gladiators.
Yep. So, like you said, they've got one carry, and then they just built the team around that one carry.
Super funnel comp.
That's the biggest difference here.
And he did pop off in almost every game.
Yep.
The last game that they lost, it was because they shut him down. He didn't have a single.
He didn't score.
He only got like a couple of kills. He only scored right at the end, at the very last big, the Hoopa teleport at the bottom. And it was a big 4 or 5 man push, and he ended up getting a couple of points in.
And then the biggest thing. So the team comp obviously got them very far. It got them very far.
Because Toon's
obviously.
Amazing. So he's just super hard carry.
So they just kind of put it all. I don't want to say they put it all on him, but
that's basically what it is.
But like you said, they funneled it into him.
Everybody else is just support and super
sustain,
super thick, just to do the job on the map, and then let him go around and just be the assassin, super hard carry.
Yeah.
And most of the games we saw, even when they were behind, that still happened. The last game, they shut him down.
I think the
Hyper Voice Sylveon actually popped off that last game. In contrast, we saw the difference between the two carries that very last game.
Because as far as the offensive parts of these teams go, it's very top heavy for gaming gladiators, and they took a way more balanced approach with full send. Yeah, full send took a much more balanced approach with a like a special attacker, and then they got the Lucario. Lucario's got all sorts of movement options and stuff like that, so he's hard to KO, does a lot of damage. Sylveon is really good in team fights with Hyper Voice. The damage just does itself.
That last game was insane.
Yeah. So I mean, I say this now that we're looking at the winner screen, but I didn't realize this until we were halfway through watching. I said that I liked the fact that they split the responsibility of damage between two separate people, and in Gaming Gladiators put all of their offensive sort of pressure on just Toon. I mean, they put it on a character who's really good at it, but then on the other side, they put it on one character who's really good at it and another character who's pretty good at it.
Exactly. So they have the options between, they have the consistent damage from Sylveon, and they have the assassination from the Lucario, whereas obviously Greninja just does all of that into one package. And Trevenant's not bad. Trevenant's good, but he needs time to scale, where Lucario's really strong early. So they bullied it. They bullied that Phantom most of the... He was having it felt like Cyrus, man. Like, he was having a bad time in that top lane, just getting bullied all day. It was really cool to see the map movement in terms of, like, you'll see once they get an objective, you'll see the whole team kind of make this line of scrimmage across the map, and you'll see, like, this whole side of the map is controlled now, and they don't move willy-nilly. Like, everything is calculated, and it's way different than solo queue. And I was explaining there's, like, two different versions of the game. There is the solo queue that we play, or whether it's ranked or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Two lanes.
There's solo queue, and then there's 5-man competitive.
Yeah, you said that, and it is so true. Because, like, what you play online is not even close to what we just watched in the Aeos Cup.
Yeah, not even a little bit. It's not even the same game. They're two completely different games in the same engine.
And you know, it sucks because you'll never experience the other side unless you get that 5-man stack.
Unless you get the 5-man stack.
You know, so without the 5-man stack, you just got to play it the way it is and lean into it, which is fine. I still have fun, you know, playing it that way. But like, you made an excellent point there. And I want to ask you for the team comp side of things, do you think if GG dropped Trevenant and put in a balanced attacker, do you think that would have fared better for them?
Yeah, you know, I'm not really sure. Doug was just commenting on the tournament qualifier also. You know, I think it worked out for him. I think one of the things that hurt him, I think, in the final was that... So they made a good adaptation. Game 4 and 5 was sending Hoopa top, right, with the Trev. It worked.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I think it was just sort of a bad luck of the draw, because even with Toon getting shut out, not shut down, but shut out as much as he was in that last game, like he wasn't as relevant as he was the rest of the tournament, it was still so close.
It was
so close. And it was a bird flip.
Yeah.
Basically what happened, I think it was just the last team fight.
I think so too.
So the orange side, Full Send was basically in the lead. They had pressure top, and they got that last Rotom, which was really strong. That's a big proponent. You've been a big proponent of taking this last Rotom. That's a Brandon strat of taking that Rotom, bailing on it instantly, and letting it push.
Let it walk,
and they'll send 1 or 2 people to go defend it, while we instantly, in with this case Hoopa, go down and instantly start banging that Dread when there's only 30 seconds to Zapdos.
Yeah, because you can't let Rotom just walk into your goal because it's double scoring time.
It's double scoring time.
If you open that goal, then someone's going to sneak in a goal.
Exactly. So with that being that close to Zapdos, it was like 2:36 when they started the Dread.
Yeah.
So Zapdos was right around the corner. So the Full Send was on the Dreadnought. I think they had 4 people down there.
Yep.
And so the blue side, or the purple side, whatever it's called, the Gladiators, they basically came down like this, and like pushed on. If this was like the mini map, right? They kind of pushed down on the Zapdos being right here in the center.
Yeah, from the top right, they
pushed down from where that Rotom was going in, and they made a really good... I was pointing out to Brandon, I said, oh, look they've got map control right now going into Zap, because everybody else is coming through that hallway. They're getting pinched. But then something happened in the communication because they got split. Lutano on the Trevenant went for a Horn Leech sort of into the hallway on Full Send's side. I believe he went after the Blissey, but he engaged a fight into the hallway, and then the Gladiators, Greninja and Blissey went bot lane chasing a different kill, and they got split off, and they ended up picking off the Greninja. They killed the Greninja. It was a bait. They got him into a 3v2. They jumped on him and popped him like a pimple.
Yeah.
He was gone for that fight, and instantly they flipped the bird and they smashed it. But they still were. It was such a good game to be able to go up and see that, even that reverse push. Hoopa
the
went
last
up,
the last minute they still scored. I think GG scored like 200 points or something in the last minute. So they did a really good job with their final push.
Yeah, they did not give up.
So yeah, I think that kind of covers the Unite side of things. Would you say anything else you wanted to point out about this?
No, I really like to see the fact that we got to see their items.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
We'll talk about what you kind of predicted.
Yeah, the focus band. We're seeing focus bands.
That's the new hotness.
Yeah, we're seeing it everywhere. But when Buddy Barrier got nerfed, I kind of called that. I think that focus band was going to be kind of the new Buddy Barrier.
Yep.
And it definitely is.
I think it was 100% on all 5 or all 10 of these.
It was on all of them, and if it wasn't, it was on 9 out of 10.
I think the Greninja had just all damage. He had a shake weight.
And that was another thing that I said was, if you're on a damage character, you're gonna go with the focus band in the slot of your Buddy Barrier, or you're just gonna lean into your damage
and go 3 damage.
And we're seeing characters in Pokemon just drop like flies now. And
they
team
die
fights
so fast.
The team fights don't last nearly as long.
Nope.
Especially your squishy characters, they're just going down. And tanks are going down a little faster because everyone's leaning into the offensive side of this game now.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, it was really fun to watch. I can't wait for this Unite circuit to come to Worlds.
Yeah,
we're gonna have like a 2-hour podcast for Worlds.
It's gonna be so fun.
So yeah, I think we're gonna move on to the card side. We're gonna go to the Indianapolis regionals. We're gonna check out the top 8 decks, and we're gonna point out the interesting stuff and talk about how the finals went. All right, now we're moving over to the TCG side of things. Different tournament. This was an Indianapolis regional. Yeah,
so this was kind of a dual-sided tournament. They had VGC and TCG. So we're going to be talking about the card game first. It was really, really exciting. The finals was Ian Robb versus Isaiah Bradner. Excuse me. Yeah. And it was basically the Arceus mirror match. There was Arceus Inteleon Moltres versus Arceus Inteleon Beedrill, which is really, really exciting.
Yep. He also had the Galarian Zapdos, too. Yep. That was another really
Galarian
cool
Zapdos.
pick.
He had a Medicham V. He also had a Hoopa V for certain matchups, so that's pretty interesting. Hoopa's actually, pretty exciting, being able to hit for both Psychic and Dark. So, beating those Rapid Strike decks, beating the Mew decks. It kind of works a lot of those matchups.
One-hit KOs the Mew VMAX. Correct. One-hit KOs both versions of Urshifu.
Correct.
VMAX. So, yeah, actually really good tech. That's something that we kind of thought maybe was going to get some traction, and lo and behold.
It ended up getting into the final. Now, it actually ended up bricking him and losing him game 2.
Yeah,
game 2 was a stomp. It was over in like 3 turns.
Yeah,
legitimate. It was just done.
Yep.
Because he bricked with Hoopa as his starting Pokemon, as his opening active. So, but yeah, basically it was pretty similar decks in terms of like it's the Arceus and it's the Drizzile with Inteleon and Sobble, the shady dealings and everything.
Yeah,
so
but it's the game winning engine right now.
Right now, exactly. So pretty interesting deck. It's I really like a lot of the tech pieces that he had in here, like the Galarian Zapdos V actually did potentially come in clutch. The Medicham V was something that we wanted to see. He didn't really pull it off in this matchup at the end, but
I haven't seen any decks that run Medicham. I've never seen them get the Yoga Loop off.
Yeah, if you can get it off, it's really, really nice. That's why he has certain things like the Galarian Zigzagoon. To peck off certain amount of damage. It's basically in this meta right now, you're looking to KO a because you can snipe the bench with it.
Yeah.
So you're looking to KO a Sobble.
Yeah.
That's how he gets it off a lot in this tournament. We didn't see it in the final match, but earlier there was a match where he did get it off, and it's because he killed a Sobble.
Yeah.
He ended up putting some damage down with the Galarian Zigzag. I forget how everything happened, but he ended up getting a certain amount of damage down and then he poked him down again with the Galarian Zigzagoon, and then he Yoga looped off of that and got the kill, got a free turn, and went again, and the dude scooped.
There was it's funny actually, the combination of Medicham V and stumbled in quick shooting Inteleon.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting because Isaiah put a Dunsparce on the board because there was a Galarian Zapdos.
He baited him. He baited him.
So he put a Dunsparce on the board. Well, then Ian started quick shooting the Dunsparce.
Yep.
And he baited Isaiah into putting a big charm on the Dunsparce
instead of
and then the Arceus ended up getting KO'd. So he got super baited.
Yeah, that was actually the finals. It was a really good play.
Because he put the Medicham down too. So he was the pressure of the Yoga Loop and getting that free turn.
Because if he gets a double turn off that Yoga Loop with a prize card like that, it's game over.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what you have it doesn't matter how much stuff you have set up. He's just going to be so far ahead in tempo.
Yeah. And in the winning, as far as game one goes, the way he won was he basically flashed the Galarian Moltres.
He did have 2 Inteleons in the deck, so he did have one that was quick shooting and then another one that was shady dealing. So he had the option. So very techy.
Yeah, this reminds me of the deck that won the EUIC.
Correct.
It reminds. It's got so many.
A
of these,
lot
like,
of
little
personal flavor that the dude clearly has just put in thousands of reps with it, right? And he has found his own niche to like. All right, I do need one of this. I do need 2 of this. He knows exactly, and as he said, he's got energy switch that quote unquote lets him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's got like one Marnie.
Exactly.
One Raihan. There's so many like tech pieces. This is another one of those decks that, like you said about the.
It's a personal deck. It's not a cookie cutter.
Yeah, and this guy probably played 100 or more games with this deck before this tournament. So he was so super confident in this list. Every card is here for a reason. Every card serves a purpose.
Exactly. They all serve a purpose.
Yeah, this is a deck that if you and I put it together, we've only been playing for 5 months?
Yeah, exactly.
We would probably have trouble because I put together the deck that won the European International.
Yeah, the EUIC.
And
it was tough.
I stopped playing with it because I was just like, I don't know how to use this, man.
It's a super big brain deck.
Yeah. So want to look over to the second place deck really quick?
Yeah. So the second place deck is pretty similar, but this one's actually got an interesting little tech piece. So we do see the Galarian Zigzagoon, we do see the Sobble Drizzile, Inteleon. This is only one Inteleon, so no quick shooting, just
shady dealings.
Yeah. But we see a 4/3 Arceus. So Arceus is actually his main kind of core beat stick, does everything, right?
Yeah, yep.
So, and then on top of that, he also, with the 1 mana fee, and we have the Dunsparce that we talked about. So Dunsparce is really cool. It has the ability to turn off weaknesses for normal pokes, for all the white cards.
Yeah.
So makes sure that you're turning off all that super effective damage from, whether it's Urshifu's or Medichams, Zapdos, whatever they might have to be hitting you. Because obviously Arceus is big in the meta, fighting is big, good counter to that, and this Dunsparce kind of checks that. And then on top of that, he's teching in 2 of the single strike Beedrills, and then 2 of the single strike Mustards.
Yeah,
so really important. So obviously, basically what you're going to be looking for this play. So single strike Mustard, you'll hear people kind of talk jokingly like, is this hand mustardable? Like basically you got to play your hand down to where Mustard's the last card in your hand. That's the only time you can play this card. But if you do, and it's the last card in your hand, you can play it. You search for any single strike Pokemon and you put it on your bench. So this is there's no Weedle, there's no Cocoon in the deck for a reason. It's just Beedrill. You can summon anything without having to evolve it or have anything beneath it. So it's really, really good there. And then you also draw 5 cards, so it's a brand new hand. So it's so strong. Single Strike Mustard is actually very, very good if you can pull it off. And then obviously the combo with the Beedrill, he has his Persist Sting attack.
Yep. This combo, as far as like Single Strike Mustard goes, it's never been easier to pull off because of the existence of Ultra Ball.
Correct.
So like you can just Ultra Ball,
2 things
look through
away.
your deck. You don't have to grab something.
Correct.
And then you can play your hand down that way.
Yep.
Obviously, you like play energy and stuff like that, and then Yeah, then talk about persisting, man.
Yeah, so super fun here. It only requires 1 energy, which is insane. 1 grass energy.
Yep.
So the deck is running 5 green energy, 1 capture energy, and 1 water energy, and then 3 double turbos. So you use one of those 5 grass energy, and you put it on the Beedrill, and you use Persist Sting. Your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energy attached, instantly knock it out.
Yep.
It is insane.
Justin, what are some cards that use special energy? What are some Pokemon that use special energy?
Well, there's, not to mention, there's, single strikers, Shifu with single strike energy, rapid strike decks with rapid strike energy, and then there's also decks like this in the mirror match with double turbo is everywhere. It's the new hotness.
Maybe Mew VMAX?
Mew VMAX with fusion strike energy.
Gengar also plays single strike
energy.
Yeah,
so... Arceus is everywhere, and every Arceus in the world runs double turbo.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
Yep.
So this is really good at just picking up 2 or 3 prize cards. So quick, so free. And you can use the Raihan play also to potentially set up the Beedrill for like a later turn. It's not necessarily the best combo, but we did see it a little bit. He is running 1 Sharon's Care, which is also really good, and a Pal Pad to get that back. The Energy Search is coming in. I particularly would probably want to run 2 Energy Search, but that's just me, stuff like that. But anyway, the point is, Jet Spear is not bad either. Doing 110, you just discard an energy. That's not bad either. Just to pick something off if they got a Sobble or something. Or a Drizzle. You can get a KO there. But yeah, persisting is what you're going for.
Is Inteleon weak to grass? Nope, electric. Okay. Yeah. It is interesting. I wonder if another Sharon's Care could have taken him.
I would have
put him over the edge because. When I play against Sharon's Care,
it's so annoying.
It's so oppressive to just deal with the healing of the best card in the game.
It's so good.
When they pick up they
pick up that V-Star and then plop it, because the worst is when they have a full health V on the bench and they just re-evolve it right then.
Exactly, and it's like, man, that's brutal. So as far as the match goes,
it was good.
Yeah,
it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough start for Isaiah. So he's running a 4-3 Arceus, and he prized 2 of his 3 V-Stars. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So that kind of put a damper. He did fight back from that.
Yeah.
Really,
it was a good fight. It was a good fight.
He fight back because he got to a position where he took enough prize cards where he would end up losing to Galarian Moltres. So you know what I mean? He put himself in a position where he would take 3-4 prize cards or whatever. And he did end up getting the Beedrill to take a KO on an Arceus V-Star. It was very early, but it was something he had to do.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get enough energy accelerated early enough, and he basically was forced to go for a Raihan in a turn that he really would have liked to boss.
Yeah.
And that sort of forced his hand in one direction. So he went for the Beedrill play because it was something he could still do that turn. And he did get the knockout, but it was sort of going a little bit early.
Yeah, and then because the way that game 1 ended was
he flashed him.
Yeah, he flashed the Galarian Moltres because
checkmate.
Yeah, he was because Isaiah was putting on a nice good charge at the end, and then
he thought he was made a good comeback. It was good. It was good that second half.
Yep. And then Ian just at a certain point, enough prize cards were taken. He just flashed the Moltres and the choice belt.
He had the math done.
Everything was
with the choice belt.
Yep. And then Isaiah put the hand out for the concession.
Yep.
And then game 2, Isaiah spanked him.
It was like 3 turns. It was legitimately the top of Ian's turn 2. Ian almost conceded. He ended up conceding in turn 3.
I think he had to play Professor's Research on his first turn. Which is like what you don't want to do.
And he bricked. He led with Hoopa. He mulliganed. He was just having bad luck.
It was brutal.
So and then game 3 was a scrapper, but it ended up coming down to one person got double Arceus. One person only had single Arceus set up on the field, and that's just what made the final was like what you said. It was the bait and switch. He was pew 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 picking off the Dunsparce, and he baited him out to put the Big Charm on the Dunsparce instead, which then the Arceus V-Star got knocked. What happened was he retreated out, but Ian top deck a boss and he threw it out.
Yeah.
It was instant. He drew it and just threw it out and game over.
Yeah, I think he didn't even play any other. No, I think he bossed him up and immediately attacked. I don't know if he played any other cards that turn.
No, yeah, he threw out the boss and then it was basically handshake.
Yeah,
that's basically what it was. He looked at the boss and just threw it out.
Yep, he KO'd the Arceus V-Star and then promoted a Sobble and then that was it. So it was a pretty. He
good promoted finals. A Sobble, looked at his hand and just went, "Hey, GG." Yep.
As far as the other decks that we're seeing,
we see a lot of Arceus, we see a lot of Intellion,
and Mew VMAX has made a little bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, there's 3 of these in the top 10 or top 8.
Yep, 3 of them. So I don't know when the next regional is. They're probably actually we got like 3 this month or something. So we'll be talking about another one next podcast. So yeah, that kind of wraps up the TCG side. I would say you want to move over to the VGC side.
Definitely. Let's go see some Sword and Shield content.
All right, moving into the VGC side, the premier format here.
So this was a very interesting matchup. This is probably the thing that we're most comfortable or most knowledgeable at.
Yeah, I would say.
We played the most.
Yep.
I feel comfortable saying that it probably wasn't played the best. It was probably not the most smooth of decision making. It seemed like maybe Jeremy was a bit rattled, or maybe a bit like Stefan was maybe in his head.
Because he
definitely played a bit scared. So it was a really interesting matchup. You obviously see the Zacian Kyogre matchup, and the other person, Jeremy, ended up bringing a Trick Room team, a hard Trick Room team with a Salt Vest Reshiram.
It was cool.
And
it was a really cool team.
And a Weakness Policy Ice Rider Calyrex, which you actually see a lot of Calyrex in the top 10.
Yeah, I think, Trick Room's actually kind of coming back.
Yes.
Because like these Palkias.
Because you're turning off speed control for the Swift Swims or whatever.
Because Palkia, this is a Trick Room team.
Yep.
Here's another variant of the Trick Room team with a Mungus.
Yeah.
Here's
and there's another Reshiram. There's another Reshiram.
Gothitelle, 3rd place, dude. Yeah, Reshiram. There's even more, dude. Here's a Talonflame and a Ditto. That's pretty awesome with a Kyurem.
With a Kyurem White.
Yep.
Super fun tech.
See, here's another one.
But yeah, lots of horses this meta, which is cool to see something different. Oh, there's a Lugia, top 30.
Here's Chojin Pang. He was...
hey, let's go.
Yep, the Lunala. Joe UX9's up here. Yep, 13th place. He's rocking a Veltos.
Still.
Yeah, I think this is the same exact team.
Same team.
He's been rocking. So, yeah, you said there's a Lugia here. John Who in 26th place for the Lugia. That's awesome.
That's really fun to see.
Yeah, there was a couple cool...
There's a couple Palkias running around too.
There's a Solgaleo Dialga.
With double Latias.
Double Steel. Double Dragon. That's pretty sweet. Chandelure on a Sun team. That's pretty cool. Snorlax.
Yeah, there's some fun tech here, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Then there's, it's easy to just ignore the Swordfish and the Hot Dog teams and just look for the cool stuff. But yeah, I like seeing things like Lunala, Pikachu. Pikachu's back.
Let's go.
Blastoise. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that basically he got in his head a bit, or he was just overthinking a bit or whatever, but Jeremy played a bit scared the whole set. There was multiple turns, even in the second game where he won, where he was just making plays that's like, wait, why are you doing that? Why are you playing on the back as if you're in the back foot? You need to put the gas pedal down now.
But it's safe to say that game 2, the game that he won, was his most aggressively played game,
It was,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, he threw away his Incin every game.
That's the biggest
Every
thing,
game
man.
on stream, he just threw his Incin away and just died. So you're fighting an uphill battle 3v4.
Yeah.
For what? Why don't you put him in the back?
And the thing that I said was, if you are going to just let him get KO'd, you need to get some sort of value.
You need to. And there was times where he didn't click fake out.
He didn't click fake out until game 3, and that was really impactful.
And it made a difference.
But I don't even remember because he hit the fake out. Yeah, he hit the fake out in the Trick Room. So he got his Trick Room set up.
There was a turn where he was in Trick Room and then he clicked Protect and stalled out his own Trick Room. Like, no, you need to take a KO
because Stefan left his Zacian to be attacked with higher horsepower.
He left the Kyogre alone all weekend too, which was just weird. Like, why the whole set he just left the Kyogre alone? Like you're playing a weather war here.
But I understand because he's got Assault.
Sometimes it was okay
Because he's got Assault Vest and he's doing the Dynamax Max Quake, so I sort of understand that aspect, but
and it did work one game, but like there's other times where the game state just wasn't appropriate, and you're supposed to KO him.
Yeah, like you said, after turn 1 of Game 3, he sacked the Incineroar, but he got all the value out of it that he could there. He got the Fake Out off, and then he got the Intimidate, which led him to get a Trick Room and a free switch on his Calyrex with 4 turns of Trick Room.
Yep.
And he clicks Protect. He clicks Protect.
Why don't you go for a kill there?
Yeah, like if you're
aggro. You have the driver's. I would have switched. Yes. I would have swapped out Ditto to Reshiram.
Yep.
And then I would have clicked Glacial Lance.
Not Ditto.
Or not Ditto.
Porygon.
Yeah. Switched out Porygon and went into Glacial Lance.
I don't disagree with going Calyrex and Dynamaxing, but
I would have went into Reshiram
instead of Calyrex,
and then swapped out Porygon into Calyrex. So then I would have had a Dynamaxed Reshiram to be able to play the Weather Wars with my Max Flares, and because Blue Flare misses all the time.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: he missed 2 Blue Flares to close out his tournament. They were in the rain.
It doesn't matter. He was making the bad plays. He should have clicked Earth Power.
Yeah, because we know from an Earth Power that he hit before,
he would have killed.
He would have 2-hit KO'd his Zacian
for sure.
Up against. So
for sure. So it was just sort of. But I really do like the team that he had. The team's
awesome.
Yeah, the team is really cool.
Yeah. But yeah,
bringing out the Reshiram, having that Dynamax to be able to play that Weather War and force him to Dynamax the Kyogre in the Trick Room, which he doesn't want to do. And now you have Sun to threaten his Rillaboom and Zacian. He can just be one-hit KO'd by anything. Yep. So now, and then and not to mention, he also has the option of Max Quake, which buffs the...
Which I thought he should have went for
which
turn 1.
Which is a perfect option also.
Turn 2. That's what sticks out to me about in this whole set. This is what sticks out to me is the first turn of his Trick Room, he clicks Protect on the Calyrex.
And he got baited by Protect on the Rillaboom 2 or 3 games in a row. It's like, how many times are you going to fall for the same trick?
The Zacian was out there to be attacked. And it's like, even if he protects, which you got to take that risk. Like, you got to put your foot on the pedal. You
have to do something sometimes. You can't just let him win.
His plan was to, and this is why he ignored the Kyogre, because he wanted to keep Max Quaking to litigate the damage.
Which is fine. But that one turn that he didn't target that slot is the turn that we were both calling target the Kyogre slot this turn.
Yeah.
And that was the turn when he protected and he dug everything into Rillaboom, protecting the Zacian switch in, and he didn't do anything into the Kyogre slot. And we were like, why would you double?
I think 2 turns before that, you Max Quake the Zacian slot. Even if Rillaboom comes out,
he takes damage.
We saw that foul play we saw that weakness policy boosted.
Yeah, weakness policy boosted 2-hit KO.
Was a 2-hit KO. So I think that should have been your play.
A clear 2-hit KO.
Yeah,
it wasn't close.
He couldn't go Incineroar.
Correct.
And you were going to get half damage on Rillaboom,
and
you were going to KO Zacian.
And you Quake everything, and you beat the Kyogre by Quake. Plus Assault Vest.
If that's your plan the whole time.
And he had Energy Ball.
Was it Energy Ball or Solar Beam?
It might have been Solar Beam because we never in the sun.
Yeah, but it's like
he had a Grass move. Is the point?
I don't think that he had a lot of options.
He didn't play towards his win con, which is like he kind of had the golden ticket. I felt like
I thought so too. I thought he really
once he got that Fake Out and Trick Room, I was like, oh wait a minute, this is it. And then he clicked Protect, and we're both like, no, what are you doing?
We both lost our minds.
We both like popped off, like, why are you clicking Protect?
But you brought up a good point that Stefan may have really just set the tone in game 1. Because in game 1, he seemed like he played around him perfectly.
He played around. He guessed everything, and he just smashed him and kind of got in his head, it seemed like.
And I think it was the Dynamax Reshiram game that
was really good. And that's what I wanted to see game 3, because game 2, he did Dynamax Reshiram, and that's what I was calling for, was weather control. Yeah. That's my number 1 rule. Go back to like our first podcast ever.
Yeah.
What's the number 1 rule of Weather Wars? Weather control. It doesn't matter how many Pokemon you have left. To a certain extent, if you have weather control, you and the tools to then utilize it, you will often win the match. Winning weather control is winning the weather war.
Yeah, Yeah, so
really fun matchup though. Really cool team. Like I really do actually want to try Jeremy's team.
I do too. I legitimately.
I'm looking at that like we could run this on the ladder.
I had the same exact thought. I was like, this is the kind of fun team that I would use.
And it's Calyrex Ice, so it's already right up your alley.
Exactly, and it's like we haven't even actually played a lot of Series 12, so it's like
just for the birds.
Yeah, that's like pretty much the only Series 12 I've played. But like that's the kind of team that I would play.
For people that don't know, there was an event for all 3 of the Galarian birds in different times to get their shiny forms, and their shiny forms are cool because the shiny forms are the same color as their Kanto forms.
Yeah, guess who got all 3 of them?
This guy.
He's got 2 thumbs and he's pointing at himself right now. Yeah.
Yeah, super, super fun weekend. So much to unpack here. Like I said, the VGC was super exciting to see, but when you see it in hindsight, you're like, oh yeah, it's sort of invigorating because it's like, even when he's supposed to play aggro, he played scared, and no disrespect, obviously, he's much better than I am to even make it that far.
Exactly,
I mean, he built the team, and he's the one that did put in the work. But it was just, as a fan, it's like, no, you had the goal, you had the win con.
I was so excited for the potential of Reshiram winning it all.
Oh, he would have smoked him with Reshiram. Play towards your strength.
Exactly. I think it could have potentially been like a meta shift.
Yeah.
To see a team like this win.
And we've already seen there's 3 Reshiram in the top 10 and 4 or 5 Calyrex Ice, not to mention 2 Shadow Riders. So it is the horse season for sure, at least in NA.
Yeah, and it's like Weather's winning it every time. I would love to see something that's not standard Weather win, because I think we would see kind of a shift in what gets played. I mean,
Correct.
Weather's still going to be there.
Weather's always going to be there.
But
like even back in Series 9 when we had no legendaries or no restricteds,
because Weather was like maybe like a 60, 40, 60 maybe?
I was going to say 50-50, but yeah, it was probably every other game you'd fight a Weather squad, or maybe every 2 games you'd fight a Weather squad.
But now it's like 90%.
Like every game's Weather.
It's Weather with Zacian.
Yeah, so it is really exciting to see these a little bit of differences.
You know what we should do? We should make a Sandstorm team with Zacian, dude.
Just be the ones that stand out.
He doesn't take Sandstorm.
There you go. Just chip them away. Just keep protecting.
Yeah, dude.
Be annoying. Be dirty, filthy, stinky.
Oh, dude, yeah. Protect
players.
on everything, dude.
Oh,
protect
God.
on everything. Let's go, dude. T-Tar.
Cradley.
Oh, okay. We can do Cradley. Who else sells a Sandstorm? We got T-Tar and Hippo. That's it, right?
And Gigalith.
And Gigalith?
Yeah.
Okay, I like all those options.
Yeah, Gigalith with the weakness policy. I've run that before. That's a channel staple right there.
That's
that
old school. You guys are going to have to dig deep into the catalog for that one.
That's Series 9 stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was a good time. I'm really excited that all these tournaments are back. I love watching this stuff. Like you said, it's
so
like
fun.
It's like watching football or watching a sport.
It's like watching a sport. It's the same type of vibe, same type of feel. We're all nerds, just crunching numbers and watching stats, right? It's the same thing, just a different format. We just happen to like, little Japanese anime characters.
Yeah. Well, fun little animals smacking each other around.
And a dog with a giant sword.
Yeah, I think that kind of covers everything, man. What do you think?
Yeah, so super happy with how this weekend of coverage went. Super happy to be able to watch these games and do coverage like this. So let us know in the comments below if you like this style of kind of talking points, for the certain podcast episodes. We're definitely going to be doing a lot. We have a lot of fun doing it. So let us know. We'd love to have some feedback. Again, like we said in the intro, check us out on Spotify if you haven't already. And if you listen to us on Spotify, check us out on YouTube. Go follow us. Give us a 5-star rating.
Yes.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah. On Spotify, you give them ratings. Yeah, 5 stars.
And go give us the thumbs up on YouTube, all that fancy stuff. Hit that big red button and subscribe. We hope today's the day we earned it with all this tournament coverage. If you are subscribed, we invite you to go this way. Hit that bell. You'll stay notified every time we upload a new podcast or any other content to the channel.
Yep. So as far as the YouTube stuff goes, we're still going to be pumping out vids. But this podcast is our focus now that we're on podcast providers and stuff. This is our number one priority.
Yep.
So we'd love for you guys to check us out on Spotify
and let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have any ideas of things or questions, things you want us to cover, if there's a certain topic you're like, hey, I'd really love, I'm trying to get better at this or whatever, I would like to learn. Let us know. We've had people do that before, and we love that feedback. So definitely, we've got a list of things of like people that have requested, hey, can you help me with this team or whatever?
Yeah.
Anything. And we also want to add podcast topics to that as well. So let us know. We have a whole list, and we'll keep them on the docket.
Yeah. All right, we are going to go play some video games. You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. Until next time, I've been Zero.
And I'm Justin.
The council's adjourned.
We need a hammer. Oh, gavel.